Hi, I'm Ashley, and today I am showing you a failure. So I bought this block of Bohong Academy watercolor paper. I was super excited to paint on this paper, and I just jumped right in without realizing that I was actually painting on the protective sheet instead of the first page of the watercolor paper. So I was really confused why it was reacting so poorly after all of the good things that I had heard about this paper. Well, a little way into it, I figured out that it must be a cover sheet because it was just so weird, but I went ahead and completed the painting anyway. Why not continue and just get the practice in with no pressure? Obviously, this isn't going to be a masterpiece. It's not even watercolor paper. So I just kept going. You'll see a ton of buckling of the paper and it just reacts weird to a lot of water, but I go ahead and forge ahead anyway. So the idea here is the Northern Lights, if you haven't guessed it. So I just swirl on paints in yellows and greens and blues and then spray water and tilt to try to make it flow. Then I add in purples and deeper blues for the dark sky areas. It's all super wet and blends out some, but again, it's weird because it's not actually watercolor paper. It also dries pretty fast, so that's another thing that made it weird. I just keep going with more and more layers, making it higher contrast with the darks and the lights, and eventually I stop and I let it dry completely before painting the foreground. For the foreground, I paint just a big wet wash of yellow and then streak in the darker colors to make it look like the water is reflecting the sky, and the left side is nice and dark because that's where the hill is going to be reflected. I paint the hill in the background, which inadvertently looks like a silhouette of a train, so I call this Psychedelic Train Ride. I hope you enjoyed watching this watercolor fail. I know I'm not the only one who's painted on the cover sheet of this paper, so shout out in the comments if you're with me. Thanks so much for watching. Have an awesome day.